Hi everyone, this is the second video in our series in which I'm going to show you how to get started with BigBlueButton. So in this video I will show you how to set up a room for a meeting, how to invite your participants, how to start your meeting, and how to upload a basic presentation to help guide your meeting. So these are the steps that we will follow. In Chrome, you'll want to type in meeting.cityhigh.org. You will sign in with your City High Google account. Hopefully you've done that already. You've emailed myself or Mr. Christ and we've made you a faculty in BigBlueButton. If not, you'll need to do that before you can finish the rest of these steps. You will create a room, give it a name. I'll show you where your settings are, and then you'll click Create Room. Click on the Room button. You can invite your participants, and then I'll show you how to start a meeting and upload a presentation. So let's get started. You want to open your Chrome browser. And in your address bar, it is simply meeting.cityhigh.org. And it will take you to this screen. At this point, you'll want to sign in. And once you've signed in once, this is a simple one-click sign-in. And as long as you have emailed us and we've given you your faculty role, you should see this. So the first time you sign in, this room will be given the name Home Room. And it's easy to change that. I've changed mine to Advisory, and this is where I plan on hosting my advisory meetings when students can show up live. They're not required to, but it's a nice option for students to be able to check in with you and with each other live. If you want to change the name, you'll click on these three buttons, and you'll click Room Settings, and right here is where it allows you to change the name of any meeting that you create. You'll see these options here. This first one is important. It says mute users when they join. So something that would be important to do when you set these up is to click this option so that when students sign in, they're not all popping in with their microphones on and talking, so that you have control from the minute that they come into the class, because we know that can be really distracting. You never know what students are going to say when they pop in and out of your room. We had that happen in 2023 with a couple of students, so this is a nice feature. This way, everyone is muted when they join the room, and then you can give them the option of being unmuted, and you can give them their microphone when you choose and allow them to speak. This is another security setting: require moderator approval before joining. It's not necessary for us since we're all signing in through our City High Gmail accounts, but if that makes you a little more confident of who's joining your meeting, let's say students maybe shared the entry key, and you have students who are not in your class trying to sign in, you can always require moderator approval before letting students or adults join. You don't really want to allow any user to start this meeting or to join as moderators. You can give that permission during your meeting, but that's probably not something you want to start out with. And then when you make a change, you just click Update Room. So you'll see I have an advisory room. When I click on advisory, you can see advisory here, and this is the join key. When I click on my 9th grade science live room, that key changes, and as long as the title is up here, this is the room that you're dealing with. And then over here is where we will create a room. You'll copy this join key, and this is something that you can email to your students, much the way you did in Google Meet. You can post this on your classroom. You can add it to a Google Calendar invite or event, and this stays the same for the life of this room. So anytime you want to use, say, I want to have a 9th grade science live class, I'll use this same join key. When you make recordings, those recordings will show up in a list down here. I haven't made any recordings for this room yet, but this is where you'll find them, and you'll be able to post them for later playback. And this is the button to start your meeting. So I'm going to show you how to create a new room. So you just want to click on Create a Room. And this is just going to be our test room. And we will mute everyone as they join, and we're going to leave the rest of these unchecked. And you will click Create Room. So as long as you're on this button, you'll see the test room name up here, and you will click Start. When you first enter, it's going to give you an audio test. So it's going to ask you, do you want to join listen only or with your microphone? So students may want to join listen only if they have no intention of speaking with their microphone during the meeting. But as the moderator, you want to join with your microphone, and it's going to give you an audio test. So it'll say connecting to the echo test. You'll just want to say a few words. If you can hear yourself, click yes. And if you can't hear yourself and you click no, it'll walk you through some simple troubleshooting steps so that you can figure out what's wrong with your microphone. So this is what BigBlueButton looks like when you first enter. This is just a generic slide that they have preloaded to show you some features and to give you some useful information, but it doesn't have to stay that way. So I'm going to show you how to change that in just a minute. So you'll notice that it looks very much like a Google Meet or a Zoom. I'm going to just walk you around the room here and see what you have on your screen available to you. So this will start on the left and just go in a circle around to the right. So public chat is where anyone in the room can chat with each other, and it'll show up here. So if I just type hello to all of my students, it shows up right there. Okay. This is also where private chats will show up in a separate box if you want a private chat with a student, or a student wants to ask a question, not in front of the whole group. That's a nice feature because some students aren't comfortable asking a question in front of everyone, so they can ask a question or make a comment to just you. Here is the shared notes feature where you can keep a running notes document, and you can give all students the option to be able to type in that, and then it can be shared in multiple formats. You can copy this, save it after the fact, and send it out, and it can be used as a document at the end of class. This is where you will see all of your users here. So as the moderator, you have a square icon, and all of the participants here will have round icons. You can see that in here I'm muted, so I just click on that and I can unmute myself. And another nice feature is you can set your status. So this is where you would do that. Any student and any moderator, once they click on their name, they have their option to set their status. So you can say, you can ask students, hey, when you enter the room, set your status to how you're feeling today. So I'm feeling happy today, and you can see my icon change to a smiley face. Students can raise their hand when they're here. So if they have a question, they can raise their hand, and you can see students who have a question, and then you have the option of allowing their microphone. If I'm a student and I need to step away from my laptop for a minute and I don't want the moderator to think I'm not paying attention, I can set my status as away if I have to get up from my laptop for a minute. And then if you want to clear your status, it's one click and it goes back to the original option there. So as the moderator, here is your button to manage users. So if you want to clear all status icons, you say, okay, does everybody understand what I just said? If you're good with it, give me a thumbs up. If you still have questions, give me a thumbs down. And after that, you can clear the status so that everybody can start over on the next question. You can save usernames so that you have a record of who attended your meeting. You can lock viewers. Here is where we can lock out student webcams that can't see other viewers' webcams. You can allow or unallow them to share their microphones, send public chat messages, private chat messages, edit the shared notes. So if you have a student who keeps writing ridiculousness in the shared notes document, you can go to that individual student and lock them out, or you can lock everyone out of sharing in the notes documents. If you want them to see the other users in the list, you can allow that. But if not, you can change the settings so that they can only see the moderator and themselves in the list. So here's where you have ultimate control class-wide here of these things. And then if you want to do those one student at a time, when you have, in a future video I'll show you, when you have students here, you can change individual settings. Okay. As you come around here, you can see this is your room name. This is where you can start your recording. When you're recording, you click on that, click yes, and you'll see the red button that means you're recording. You can pause it at any time. So I'm paused. I have no reason to record this right now, but that's so that you can record it for later playback. Over here, these buttons, you can make this full screen, you can switch settings, and you can also end your meeting and log out over here. Down here, these are where you have your annotation tools and where you have your interactive whiteboard that I'll show you a little bit later. Here you can make your presentation full screen. You can change the size of it. Down here are your control buttons. This is where you can mute and unmute yourself. This is where you can leave the audio meeting. This allows you to share your webcam, so if you want students to see you, you can share your webcam with them. And this is where you can share your screen. The button over here, the plus button, gives you some really nice features. So this is where you can start a poll, where you can post a question and all students can reply to that polling question in real time. You can share an external video, so if you want everyone in the class to watch a video at the same time, you click on that, you copy the URL there, you click share the new video, and everybody will watch that together with you at the same time. That's a really nice feature. The other feature I'm going to show you right now is how to upload a presentation. So this is a really slick way to put a PowerPoint presentation in here. That way you don't have lots of tabs open. You're not fumbling around to share your screen and having the danger of students seeing something that they shouldn't see. So when you want to click upload, when you click upload a presentation, this is the default screen that they have in there, that introduction to BigBlueButton. But when you want to add your own presentation, you want to browse for your files. And I know typically it would come here. I know that on my desktop I have a file called BigBlueButton, BBB. I'll open that, and I know here is my intro presentation. Now, currently you have to use a PowerPoint presentation for this, or you can upload a document, but it doesn't recognize Google Slides, so you'll just have to convert your Google slide to a PowerPoint. It's really 2 clicks, and that's easy enough to do. So you want to open your PowerPoint. As long as you have this green check mark by your file, it will upload it for you. Now here's another nice feature. This right here allows the presentation to be downloaded by anyone in your meeting. So if you want to allow your students to download that PowerPoint, you can click that button and it will allow them to do that from the meeting. So as long as this is a green check, you click upload. And it'll tell you that it's converting your file, it'll tell you it's uploading, and as soon as it's finished, you'll see it show up in that main presentation area. So here it is. So this is the presentation that I've been showing you. So you can scroll through this one slide at a time, or you can jump to, let's say I want to jump to slide 10, and then I want to jump back to slide 3. This is what we've been doing today. So it allows you to show that right on the screen. You can annotate right here. I'll show you these tools in a later video. So these are things that we've talked about today. How to upload your presentation, how to choose your microphone. And then this button right here is where students can choose to download this presentation and they will have their own copy. So now you're ready to get started with a basic classroom meeting. You know how to set up a room, give it a name. You know how to share the join code either through email or post it on your Google Classroom. You know how to enter the room. You know basic navigation, and you know how to put your own presentation in there to guide your meeting with your students. You know how to save the list for attendance purposes, and this is a great way to get started with a distance learning meeting in BigBlueButton very quickly. Now please come back for the next videos in which I'll show you some basic and more advanced student and teacher features. Thanks for watching.